From a solid Mythic LTM to a Pokemon collab, here are 32 Fortnite updates everyone wants. Let's start with the Tesla collab, or another real vehicle collab, because we all know Fortnite did a collaboration with Ferrari. So if they do this collab, they'd have to release the Cybertruck as well, because it seems perfect for the game. They could even release an Elon Musk skin, which would be so cool. We need more concerts and collaborative live events in Chapter 3, since we haven't had any in Chapter 3. Because back in Chapter 2, Season 2, we got a Travis Scott live event, then a few seasons later an Ariana Grande concert, and it's rumored we're getting a Juice WRLD skin, and let's hope we get a concert with the collab. A Pokemon collaboration would absolutely break Fortnite, since it's one of the biggest franchises, and if they were to do this, there'd be so much that they could do, from a Pokemon-themed POI to even adding some Pokemon around the island instead of NPCs or animals. Fans are basically begging for them to collab with Pokemon. Tournaments to win free cosmetics and V-Bucks need to make a return. Because we have to spend so much money on V-Bucks and skins at the moment, there's nothing we can do to get free items. So from time to time, it'd be cool if they would host tournaments where you can win free skins similar to how they used to in Chapter 2. It would also be cool if customizable cosmetics could return to the game, since back in Chapter 2, Season 2, they released the Maya skin, which could be fully customized. The next season, they did the same with a glider, and MetaRunner said they'd love to see Nintendo collabs like Donkey Kong, Samus, Mario, and more. I'm honestly shocked Fortnite hasn't collabed with any Nintendo characters, because imagine a cute little Toad or Kirby back bling, that'd be so funny. Then Epic was planning to do a Metroid collab, but leakers said Epic couldn't obtain the rights to put Samus into the game. Fortnite needs new exotic weapons too. At the moment, it seems like they completely forgot about this rarity. I mean, there hasn't been a single new exotic weapon in Chapter 3 so far, and the only ones in the game are recycled ones from Chapter 2. Imagine an exotic freeze cannon that adds the ice effect to whomever you shoot. And Rifted suggested that Fortnite should make it so players who play zero build modes should still have the option to use launch pads and armored walls. And launch pads could be throwable and attached to the ground. Then armored walls could be thrown on walls similar to zap traps. Many players have also been begging Fortnite to release Chapter 1 loot back into the game, because at the moment there aren't really any guns that do a lot of damage fast enough in no build modes. So players say Fortnite should consider adding back the OG assault rifle and pump. Speaking of OG items, players also want a feature that allows us to use OG Chapter 1 graphics. And I think this would be perfect since it wouldn't affect anyone negatively, plus it honestly might make players' FPS higher. And they could add an option to toggle it on and off, similar to low texture mode. And since they made boars and wolves rideable this season, many Reddit users want them to re-release raptors. And they'd be way better if they were to return now, since you'd be able to ride them, and you could just hop on one if they try attacking you to avoid damage. Just imagine how funny it'd be riding these raptors. In the future, a train POI could be added to the game as well. In my opinion, it could be actively moving around the map, which would be a very good addition to the game, since players could use it to rotate around the map quickly when they need to get out of the storm. And I mean, they could take a little inspiration from Warzone with their train station. More POIs for big collabs are needed, Fortnite, because we recently haven't gotten any new main POIs for big collabs. In Chapter 1, Season 10, they did a good job of doing this, since they turned Tilted Towers into Gotham City. And this season, since we have Darth Vader, they could have rebranded the Daily Bugle into Vader's Castle. Then since we have an Unvaulted and Solid Gold, I think they should consider adding an all-mythic and exotic LTM. Because there's not too much hype with the LTMs anymore, since they haven't released any new ones since, I don't know when, in Chapter 1. Now we move on to more mythic bosses, because a ton of players have been requesting another season similar to how they had in Chapter 2, Season 2, and 3, since there were many mythic bosses around the map back then, and that made it fun, since they all dropped good weapons that were fun to use. Our next suggestion is an item shop mystery box, or something added to make it just more fun. Imagine if you could pay 1,200 V-Bucks for a mystery box and receive potentially any item in the shop. So you could get unlucky and receive something worth 200 V-Bucks or 2,000 V-Bucks. Of course, I'd say they'd have to make it to where you can only get one a shop, so it's not a gambling system. Thousands of players are begging Fortnite to make the heavy sniper do good damage again, because at the moment, if you get a headshot with this gun, it does 198 damage. Which is so annoying because it doesn't make sense with what type of gun it is. A new version of the Aerial Assault Trooper would be cool too, since they have different versions of the Renegade Raider and other OG skins that they released. But the Ariel is the only skin along these lines that doesn't have any other styles, and players would love this, just how they did with the other styles of the Renegade. And Fortnite leaked a Family Guy collab back in Chapter 2, and it would be cool if they would actually bring this to life. Because could you imagine seeing Peter Griffin in Fortnite? And on one of Epic Games' live streams, they leaked a folder named Family Guy, which could mean they are actually working on a Family Guy collab. Then something like Mecha Morty for Stewie would be perfect. An offline mode would be cool too, because at the moment you can't do anything on Fortnite without the internet. So it would be really good if they would add something that would make you able to play custom games with AIs as an offline mode. Kind of similar to how they have custom games on Call of Duty. We have to talk about account merging, because they removed this feature years ago, and many players really want it back so they can put all their skins on one account. Then they could make you go through more security steps when merging an account so players wouldn't get scammed. A switch seat feature for vehicles would be really good as well, so you could easily pick which seat you'd like to get in when in cars. And Reddit user PawnZip made a cool concept on how this could work. Then it'd be perfect, since this really could save you in many situations. Epic, you know we still want Klombo in the game, right? Because half of the community fell in love with Klombo when it was added, so we'd love for them to bring the Klombos back. Then according to leakers, they said if Klombos make a return, they're going to be killable and drop loot this time. So I'd love to see how that goes. We need more refunds in Fortnite, or at least just one token per season. Because right now, you only get 3 lifetime refunds, and once these run out, you don't have any more. And if they do give us another refund, it's like once every 2 or 3 years. So then the leakers said Epic is working on more refunds, but enough people haven't subscribed to the channel. So subscribe so we can get more refunds. There could be a correlation. And if we still can't get that, we at least want some of the old LTMs to make a return to the game. Because whatever happened to Food Fight, Blitz, Sneaky Silencers, and all the other ones I used to have back in Chapter 1? Personally, I think adding these would make the game feel fresh again. Then some players think it would be cool to have 0 builds in Team Rumble, and some of the limited time modes if they release more. This just makes sense since they'd have options to play with or without building. Reddit user BK49 suggested that the fridges around the map should drop fruits and vegetables like apples, peppers, and more items like that when you break them. And you can't tell me this isn't perfect, because at the moment, fridges are pretty useless, especially in no builds mode. We also need more pranks added throughout the seasons, and not just on April Fools or Halloween, because every once in a while, Epic will prank players, like with the Fortnitemares jump scare they added and the overpowered impulses in Chapter 1. And doing this would just be perfect. Players also want kill cams, and not gonna lie, I'd love for them to add this too. Especially so you'd be able to see exactly how much damage you did to someone when they eliminate you. The weapon crafting feature was really good back in Chapter 2 Season 6, and many players want this back as well, but with more crafting options. Because imagine being able to put a suppressor on certain weapons, and I'd prefer this over the upgrade benches. Those are Fortnite updates everyone wants, and click this video on your screen before you go. Peace.